From the fighting city of Philadelphia, it's time for Braves baseball. Tonight, it's game 2 of our 3-game series between the Braves and the Fighting Phils. It's a special day here at Citizens Bank Park. It's the Fanatic's birthday, and you can see he is primed for a titanic struggle tonight as he works out with Eric Young Jr. before the middle game of our 3-game series. Hi again, friends. Braves fanatics everywhere, glad to have you here for the ball game tonight. Hopefully better tidings for Atlanta. The Braves have dropped 4 straight games. Last night they lost 1-0. Pitching's been a problem for Atlanta. That hasn't been the case, though, for Shelby Miller. He gets the ball for the Braves, and so far, so very good.
Yeah, he'll be happy to see the shakeup in that lineup, too. A little different lineup and look tonight for the Atlanta Braves. But for Shelby Miller, it really hadn't made much difference who's out there behind him because he's pitched so well. This is action from his start on this road trip in Toronto. And look at that cutter for the strikeout. Here comes another one. The cutter's been an outstanding pitch for him. And one of the things that's really helped him even since the All-Star break last year, that's when he started throwing it more. He's gone 5-1 in those 15 starts with a 2.70 ERA. That covers about 90 innings. So you see the walks and strikeouts. Great work by Shelby. He's pitched pretty well in this ballpark, too. He's got one guy that he's going to have to deal with tonight that's giving him problems. That's Ryan Howard. We'll see how that matchup fares.
David Buchanan gets the ball for the Phillies. He's had trouble with the base on balls problem. He also hasn't won in his last 12 starts. That's a trend we hope that continues tonight. It's the Braves and Phillies. Game 2 lineups. The first pitch coming up after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Less wind for game 2 between the Braves and Fightins here at Citizens Bank Park. Braves have scored 7 runs in their last 4 games. And with that in mind, Freddie Gonzalez has made a dramatic change to his starting 9 again. 17th different lineup in as many games for the Braves. And as Joe mentioned on the Academy Sports and Outdoors lineup card, the hottest hitters are the 4 guys batting in order at the top of the order. Markakis has leadoff experience. Simmons is red hot. Freeman isn't, but he'll be protected by A.J. Przinsky. And Johnny Gomes will be the left fielder and bat 5th tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a good move to move your hottest hitters to the top of the order, try to get some runs on the board early against David Buchanan, the starting pitcher for the Phillies. 25 years old, 6'3", 200 pounds, from Atlanta, lives now in Peachtree City. He's 0-3 with a 9.22 ERA. Last season went 6-8 after he was called up, 3.75 ERA. He's the first baseball player from Georgia State University to make it to the big leagues, and as Chip said a minute ago, command has been an issue. 9 walks in 13 innings after not walking anyone while they were in Florida, and all of his starts down in Lakeland, or Clearwater, excuse me.
So let's see how Buchanan fares against Nick Markakis, who's leading off for the Braves. Nick led off virtually every game last year for the Orioles. He hit .279. And he jumps all over the first pitch and shoots a gapper toward right center field. Herrera, though, makes a fine running catch.
I thought that was a gapper for sure. It hung up in the air just a little bit, and enough for Herrera to go from left center to deep right center and track it down. Good jump.
He's a converted second baseman. And the Phillies love his athleticism. He saved a 2-base hit from Markakis, and that's how the game starts. Here's Andrelton Simmons for a shortstop at .276. He's hitting second because of his ability to hit the ball to the right side, which has been much improved this year. And he's got a hit in 7 of the last 8 Braves games.
There are those who said around the Phillies camp that Buchanan was their best pitcher in spring training. Good command, striking guys out, looked sharp. Walked a couple of guys in an exhibition game here right before the start of the season, and has been walking guys ever since.
Yeah, 9 in 13 2/3 innings is not a good ratio.
He has a cutter, and he likes to throw it, and they think he's kind of fallen in love with it. And he has a tendency in his delivery to really jerk his head to the left, and that's causing some problems with his command.
Nothing wrong with that pitch. Simmons struck out, and quickly 2 out in the top of the first inning. Here's the Phillies defense presented by CPI Security. The Phillies with 17 errors, 5 of them in the last 3 games. And all about Herrera and his fine defense. Jeff Francoeur in right, Freddie Galvis, Cody Ashe on the left side of the infield, Carlos Ruiz behind the plate. Freddie Freeman jumps at the first offering and pops it into shallow right field. Jeff Francoeur's got it. And a 6-pitch inning for David Buchanan gets the game underway in Philadelphia. Here comes Shelby Miller. No score in the first. Now Shelby Miller goes to work. Here's the Phillies starting 9. They enter play at 6-11 for the year. And Ryan Howard, as Joe mentioned, is the guy that Shelby has to be wary of. Howard's hit him hard, a couple of home runs among the 3 hits in 5 career matchups against the Braves right-hander.
Shelby's 2-0 with a 169, but going back to last season, his last 9 starts, he's undefeated with a 169 ERA and just a 193 batting average against him. 1-in-1 lifetime against the Phillies. .6'3", 195 out of Brownwood, Texas.
And Revere takes a strike.
His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Number 1, put him away. He's been doing a good job of getting ahead in the count.
To second. That should be easy, and it is for Jace Peterson.
A whole bunch of 0-2, 1-2 counts, and then going to 3-2 before he can get an out. If he can put him away a little earlier tonight, he can get deeper in the ball game. And then, of course, you see, how are you? Well, we showed you those numbers for Ryan Howard. 2 homers in 5 at-bats against him.
Odubel Herrera with a fine defensive play to start the game. He's swinging a hot bat. 7-game hitting streak for the Phillies rookie center fielder, and batting .288 for the year. And Miller missed low, ball 1. Revere, Herrera, Utley, the first 3 for the Phillies in the opening inning. That's lashed down the left field line into the seats foul. Even count at 1-1. Phillies won 1-0 last night. A 9th inning run earned the Phils a walk-off victory. The 500th win for the Phillies in the history of Citizens Bank Park. Herrera went 1 for 4 in the game. That was a first inning single that went right back through the box. This one bounced towards short. Simmons, side saddle, fires high at first, and out of reach of Freddie Freeman. That's in the camera well. And Herrera will take second on the throwing error.
Well, it's rubbed off on Andrelton. Yes, he had to hurry. He even played it to a backhand so that he could get rid of it quicker. But airmailed the throw.
7 runs, now 8 errors for the Braves in the last 4 games and 1 inning.
First of the year for Andrelton.
And that'll bring up Chase Utley, who's hitting .135. Chase with a couple of homers and 9 knocked in. He's closing in on the 900 RBI mark for his career. Utley walked twice and singled once last night. Miller got ahead, strike 1.
Utley's also had some good numbers against him. 4 for 9, but no long balls. Got a hit his last time up last night. Raised his average to 135. That's hard to believe.
You're right about that. This one popped up shallow center. Simmons is out. He'll call everyone off and make the play. Utley pops out, and that'll bring up Jeff Francoeur. Jeff had a hit last night. Was on base 3 times. Reached on a force play, a single, and a Chris Johnson error in the 8th.
Yeah, it should have been a base hit.
So Jeff was 1 for 4 last night. He's got a 3-game hitting streak. And he's nestled between Utley and Howard, 2 left-handed hitters on the Phillies lineup card. Letter high inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Talked to Jeff before the game today, and we've always known that Charlie Manuel, the former manager of the Phillies, always liked Jeff and always thought that he could help him when Jeff ran into some hitting problems.
Broken bat, slow roller toward third. Kelly Johnson up and over and in time.
But I asked him about that, and he said Charlie's been a big help and helping him a lot in spring training.
He's leading off this inning, batting cleanup this time for the Braves. This is a new spot for AJ this season, but obviously he's been hitting well. And I talked to Freddie Gonzalez before the game about the lineup shakeups, and he said this was just a chance. They wanted to make a change at the top. They put their top 4 hitters. They moved Markakis up 2 spots to number 1, and then everybody else just kind of moved up 1 more spot. Joe, you said it earlier, get the top 4 hottest bats at the top of the lineup.
It definitely includes the top 3 hottest batters, Jen. I mean, right now, Freddie, I said the top 4, and Freddie's been hot. He started this road trip hot, but he's cooled off.
Again, fly ball to center. Herrera will make the play, 1 out.
And even he said last night something about, you know, when your 4-hole hitter's not doing anything, it doesn't help, meaning himself. And he said, so maybe tomorrow I can get it going.
3 flyouts and a strikeout so far for David Buchanan. Johnny Gomes is the batter. Johnny at 207, but an on base, as you see, of 333. And a strike.
Buchanan's 89-91 with that cutter. Change up. And his breaking ball is a curveball. And the issue, they said, as far as him really jerking his head to the left, was that it was also pulling his pitches to the left, into the left-hander's batter's box.
Foul at third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, Aaron Harang was sure good last night. He wishes every month could be April. Man, he was absolutely dominant. 8 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball. And Johnny Gomes is down on strikes. This is how Buchanan was pitching this spring. His 2nd strikeout, 2 away for Kelly Johnson.
Change up and a Butte. Yeah, good start for the former Georgia State Panther.
Kelly with a couple of homers and a 185 average, closing in on 1,000 hits. He's 12 away. He's got everything working so far.
His last start was not anywhere near this sharp. 5 innings, 6 hits, and 3 walks, and got beat 4-1.
He seems to be in a nice groove. He's working very quickly. Baseball ready to go. 0-2. Bases empty. Braves second. 2 outs. Popped up. Ashy and foul ground. There's plenty of it here in Philadelphia. He'll have room. And Buchanan with a 10-pitch second. 6 outs on 16 pitches. Ryan Howard leads off for the Phillies. No score. Shot is one reason why. View of downtown Philadelphia beyond the left center field fence. They did just about everything right, in my opinion, with this park, except for left field's a little too shallow for my taste. But other than that, what a great place to watch a game. Yeah, but they admitted that a lot of the ideas that they incorporated here, they took from Turner Field in Atlanta. So a compliment to that ballpark. And Ryan Howard has really loved hitting here over his major league career, and he's enjoyed hitting against Shelby Miller. A homer, 4 RBIs for the Phillies first baseman, who was 0 for 4 last night. Tom McCarthy's the fine TV voice for the Phillies, and he gave us an interesting stat about Howard and the 2 homers he hit against Shelby Miller. Those home runs occurred over a span of 192 at-bats for Ryan Howard. And 146 of those at-bats were against right-handed pitching. So he hit a home run against Shelby Miller, didn't hit another home run against a right-handed pitcher for 146 at-bats. And it was Shelby Miller that he victimized again. 2 balls and a strike. There was something about Shelby that he just had to wait for. We all know that in his prime, and even out of his prime, Ryan Howard's one of the most feared sluggers against Braves pitching. 47 lifetime homers against the Braves. And he just earned a leadoff walk to start the second inning. So Miller to the stretch for the second time tonight. Here's the CPI Security Braves defensive lineup. Gomes, Young, and Markakis in the outfield. Kelly Johnson at third. Jace Peterson back in at second. And A.J. Przinsky, the Braves Ironman, starts his 4th consecutive and 7th of the last 10 games behind the plate. This is Cody Ashe, 1 for 4. Maybe the oddest at bat of the game came in the 8th inning last night for Ashe. Tried to bunt a guy home, runners at first and third, and he did it on his own. He was not given a sign to try to drag bunt him in. Fly ball pretty well hit toward left, but that's playable for Johnny. He's going to make the catch, and Howard retreats to first with 1 out. Yeah, Ashe went in after the game and asked Ryan Sandberg if that was a good play, and Ryan said,
No, it was not. Especially when Howard had a real good at bat right in front of him. And Ashe on deck had a chance to see how the left-hander was pitching. Howard should have learned something before he went to the plate.
But all was forgiven for Ashe in the ninth after Galvis singled, took second on a sacrifice, third on a pass ball, and scored on Ben Revere's slow roller to first that Freddie Freeman couldn't handle, and the Phillies walked off. So here's Carlos Ruiz, Phillies catcher at 190 for the year. A lot of very low batting averages on this Philly club. You'd expect that. As a team, they're hitting .215. They entered this series the weakest hitting and lowest scoring offense in the league. And not just the league, all of Major League Baseball.
Right.
Quickly 0-2.
Here's one of those 0-2 counts. Let's see if Shelby can save himself a few pitches and get Ruiz out quickly. Good off-speed pitch.
In the air down the right field line, Markakis heading toward the corner, and in foul ground makes the grab. Long running catch for Nick Markakis, and Ruiz is out number 2.
Gold Glover ran that one down, and there's very little foul territory. And when you're running into the corner, those stands in the corner of your eye really rise up quickly, so you know you're running out of room. Took his glove off after making this catch. May have jammed his hand a little bit into the padding. Like he's all right. Good catch.
This is Freddie Galvis with 2 outs. Freddie Freeman will play behind Ryan Howard at first. With his Achilles problems, you don't figure him to be doing much running. And strike 1 to the Phillies shortstop, hitting .345 on the year. That's good for 10th in the National League. Way high, even count. Bouncer to short. Simmons will take it to the bag himself, and Shelby Miller pitches around a leadoff walk in the second. Jace Peterson will lead things off. Nice catch by Nick Markakis, and our scoreless duel heads to the third.
Right stuff, low price, every day.
Well, we thought Nick Markakis may have jammed his hand into that wall out in right field in foul territory. Look what he actually hit. He bangs it in there, and when he moves his glove, there's a hinge there that's not covered by the padding on a gate down there. I'm sure that did rock him a little bit.
We'll check on that when Nick comes up, hopefully in this Braves third inning. Jace Peterson, Eric Young, and Shelby Miller are coming up. Fly ball, twisting foul, out of play, even count for Jace Peterson.
I've seen Jace get hot.
Yeah.
2 for 15 on this road trip. 0 for his last 10.
To shallow center, Herrera broke back, but he'll have plenty of room to make the play. Cannon, a lot of fly balls to center in the early innings.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of fly ball outs for Jace. He's not going to hit that many home runs anyway. He needs to get on top of the ball a little bit. He's been getting a lot of off-speed pitches. Try to get on top of those and hit them on the ground as opposed to hitting them in the air.
Here's Eric Young Jr., the 6th man to bat 8th for the Braves this year. And as you see, a 174 mark. And a good off-speed pitch fooled him. Strike one. A bunt try, but too close to the catcher, and Ruiz pounced on that. 2 outs and 8 straight retired by Buchanan to start the night.
I don't think he's broken a sweat yet.
Cannon with a 9.22 ERA coming into play tonight.
And a 361 batting average against him.
Shelby Miller 0 for 2. See if he can get the first Braves hit of the night. Strike one. That's foul at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he has worked 3 perfect innings. 3 innings on 25 pitches for Georgia native David Buchanan. He'll lead off the home third next. Freddie Freeman and the Melanoma Research Foundation. The Braves are offering a ticket package that includes a discounted ticket, a pair of Freddie Freeman arm sleeves, and a donation to the Melanoma Research Foundation. Those sleeves are limited, so secure your tickets today at Braves.com/Freeman. 9 up, 9 down for David Buchanan, who leads off for the Phillies here in the home third. Shelby Miller is allowed a hit and a walk, and Buchanan takes a strike. He's got a hit this year. It was a double. I'm sure David's family is watching back in the Metro Atlanta area tonight. He tries to break into the win column for the first time. It's been a while for him. His last win was August 6th last year.
12 starts ago.
Shelby's fallen behind, 3-1 to the pitcher. Slow roller toward Kelly at third. At the bag, the toss across in time, and Buchanan's retired for out number one. Here's Revere. Ben Revere started slowly. He usually does, and he was out of the leadoff spot for 11 games or so for the Phillies. Ryan Sandberg loves him at the top of the order. Puts the ball in play. This man had 162 singles last year. Times have been tough so far in 2015. He takes a strike.
Not only that, but being moved to another position, moved from center to left field. Dominic Brown, also from the Atlanta metro area, has been hurt and I think is on a rehab assignment now. They expect him back within a week or so.
Yeah, he's coming back from Achilles problem and hitting only 125 with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
Tough place to hit. All those Iron Pigs around. There's the birthday boy.
0-2 pitch up the middle and kicks off the left side of the mound and right to Andrelton Simmons, and Revere is there at the first base bag and is the second out.
But it'll be interesting to see how they do their outfield alignment once Dominic Brown comes back, and I'm assuming he'll go back to left field or right. Might move Jeff Francoeur back to the bench as a fifth outfielder.
They've got Grady Sizemore on this team too, right?
They do.
And he's hitting $133.
But everybody's saying that Ben Revere's been playing a better left field than he did in center. And he's throwing better from left field.
Upstairs to Odubel Herrera, who reached on an infield hit and a throwing error by Andrelton Simmons. So he's got 2 hits in the series. Never played a game above Double-A until he cracked the lineup for the Phillies this year. And we made the point last night, the Phillies are an old, expensive team. And Herrera is a guy they will take a very long look at to try to improve both of those categories.
Well, I mentioned last night he won the Texas League batting title. Then he went to winter ball in his native Venezuela, won the batting title there, and was named the MVP of the league. And that's quite an honor down there. A lot of major league players playing in Venezuela in the wintertime.
Strike 3 outside corner. Herrera didn't think so. And Shelby Miller has his first strike out of the game. Markakis, Simmons, and Freddie Freeman are coming up. Scoreless game after 3.
All of last season with Baltimore, and in talking to Freddie Gonzalez, he said, when we first signed Nick, we talked about using him in the leadoff spot, but then they brought in some of those faster guys, Eric Young Jr., Cameron Maven, but you see the numbers there, guys. Markakis' numbers pretty good in that top spot, about a 300 average, 353 on-base percentage, and he had a pretty good crack at that first pitch he saw first time around.
He did, but Herrera ran it down to start the game on the game's first pitch. Look, let's be honest. We talked about it earlier. The Braves, 17 different lineups, and this is the 17th game. I think in Freddie Gonzalez's best situation, he'd love to have a set lineup. I think every manager would love to be able to say that. But the numbers bear out some changes needed to be made. Entering play today, the Braves leadoff hitters had the second lowest on base percentage in baseball. That's the leadoff spot. 1 ball, 1 strike. The number 2 hitters, and there have been a bunch of those, have the worst batting average, worst on base percentage, and have totaled 8 hits in 17 games, and all 8 of those hits are singles. Down the left field line and curling foul.
So a change was in order, and to do something to stimulate some offense, and especially hoping it in the first inning you get something going, you get some runs for your starting pitcher.
You've had 3 different leadoff men. Markakis is the 4th. Braves have used 5 different number 2 hitters. And as we see the 2-2 pitch, it's fouled away. This isn't a situation where the team is just trying to develop. They're still trying to win. We're 2 weeks into the season.
Trying to win, no matter if you're 10 weeks into the season, you're trying to win ball games and put your lineup out there that gives you the best chance to win. That's one of the things that Freddie talks about a lot. This is the lineup I thought gave us the best chance to win tonight. Well, I agree with him. I like what he did tonight because of what was going on at the top of the order with other people. And there's those that might question it and beg for a set lineup. But for those people, I don't think they've got a clue about how this ball club's put together. Then they haven't observed how this club's put together in terms of the versatility and the interchangeable parts.
And isn't playing time oftentimes determined by production?
Heck yeah.
I mean,
or earn it, you know.
Yeah.
If you're swinging the bat well, if you're hot, you're going to play. He's not going to take you out of the lineup if you're not hot. So whatever it takes to get some offense going, he's still trying to look for it in the 17th game.
Ball 4. Markakis aboard for the first time, and there's the first walk for Buchanan, and that ends his perfect game bid. Good start to the Atlanta 4th inning. Here's Andrelton Simmons. So a chance for the Braves to see what this combo can do. Markakis at first, Simmons hitting second. Despite his strikeout in the first inning, there have not been many of those for Andrelton. But he's done an excellent job of hitting the ball the other way, and there's a big hole for him here in the 4th inning. That was a real good at bat by Markakis.
Yeah. Fought off some tough pitches. He knows what you got to do leading off after all the time he spent in that spot in the order, especially last year, all year long for Baltimore.
He saw 9 pitches in that at bat. Buchanan got 9 outs on the first 25 pitches he threw. Now a ground ball toward short might be 2. Utley with the turn, and it is a double play. Simmons is doubled up. Bases are empty now for Freddie Freeman.
You know, the double play was what did the Braves in last night, especially that opportunity with runners at first and third, 1 out.
Let's take a look at our Coors Light cold hard facts. Tale of 2 halves of a road trip for Freddie.
Yeah, we talked about that in our opening comments. If you missed it, he only had 2 strikeouts in that series in Toronto where he did so much damage, but then at New York in the first game here against the Phillies, 1 for 15 with 7 strikeouts.
Into the shift he goes, and an easy play at second. Buchanan pitches around a leadoff walk, and he's got a no-hitter through 4 innings. Utley, Francoeur, and Howard coming up. check out our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot. This is what the Braves and Phillies did head-to-head in this ballpark.
Starters ERA was way better. How about 12 home runs to 5 against the Phillies in their home ballpark last year?
And this year the Braves are out homering the Phillies overall. The Braves have hit 14 of them. The Phillies have hit 9. Philadelphia has been outscored by 32 runs in their first 17 games. The Braves with an 8-8 record have been outscored by 1 run.
Well, go back. Let's go back to that offensive discussion in the lineup.
Yeah.
And the set lineup or no set lineup. If they had a set lineup that was scoring a lot, winning a lot, then there's no reason to juggle anything. But you just said they're 1 game below or 1 run below run differential. And even when they were 6-1, they had the 1 game in Miami where they scored 12 runs, won 12-2, I think.
And
second game of the season.
Right, 7 runs in the first inning of that game.
Yeah, and you kind of throw that. If you throw that game out, boy, every game has been close, and they don't score a ton of runs.
Braves are averaging less than 4 runs a game on average, about 3.9 runs to be exact. And their team ERA is about 3.7. As Utley takes a called third strike. Good hook from Shelby Miller, and he's got back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, good backdoor breaking ball. Right at the target. That's a beaut.
And I think there's another factor too. The manager has to evaluate his talent too. Spring training is one thing. You can see your team play 25-30 games in the spring as Jeff Francoeur goes the other way with a hit. Markakis over quickly, but Jeff's on his way to second with an opposite field double with 1 out. You really have to throw the spring training games out the window because the game situations do not mimic regular season play.
Well, you don't necessarily see Major League pitching either.
Right.
Jeff got jammed badly his first time up, had his bat broken. And he kind of inside outs that one just to keep it from getting in on him and keeps it fair. Going back to that discussion about Charlie Manuel, he said Charlie worked hard with him all spring, and he said really for the first time in a long time I had somebody who was, you know, encouraging me and supporting me and had my back. And he said it felt good to have somebody who was that supportive.
Jeff with his 3rd double. Now Ryan Howard the batter. Miller walked him back in the Phillies' 2nd. That ball is hammered deep center. And gone. Howard strikes Miller again. That looked like the Ryan Howard of old. That got out of here in a hurry.
Yeah, that was a 1-iron. His 48th career homer against Atlanta and his 3rd against Shelby Miller.
So the Phillies have scored twice in the 4th inning, and that'll bring up Cody Ashe, and he looks outside at ball 1. Ryan Howard closing in on the all-time top spot for games played as a Phillies first baseman, has made his presence felt in game 2 of the laser beam home run to straightaway center. 2nd in Phillies history in homers. Only needs 212 to tie Mike Schmidt for most on the Phillies home run list, but he does have the most among any left-hand hitter in the history of the Phillies franchise. Out of play foul by Carlos Ruiz. Howard now 60 away from Del Ennis for second place on the Phillies all-time RBI list. Slow roller. Kelly, bare hand, flips to first, and Freeman got it.
Play.
It was a good play, and that'll retire the side. A double by Francoeur and a homer to center for Ryan Howard gives the Phillies a fourth-inning lead. This has put the Phillies in front. We head to the fourth inning. A.J. Pierzynski, Johnny Gomes, Kelly Johnson are coming up. David Buchanan has not allowed a hit yet. Aaron Harang didn't allow a hit until the fifth inning last night. And ball one missed inside to Pierzynski.
Well, that was the first time the Braves have been shut out. Again, going through the numbers, the average runs per game was what, 3.9? I don't think that's anything surprising. I don't think the Braves were expected to score a ton of runs this year, so that's not that big a shock that it's right at 4, let's say.
In the air to left. And that's playable for Ben Revere. Shy of the track, one out.
But they've gone 18 straight innings without scoring.
And we know how hard it is for this team at times to score 3, and that's what they've got to do to win tonight. Those first runs are awfully important for any starting pitcher, and Buchanan's been given the early lead. Here's Gomes. Johnny struck out in the Atlanta second. Braves this year are 6-2 when they score first. Conversely, 2-6 when they don't. Ball one. Miami got a big win today. Tom Kohler beat Steven Strasburg. Marlins shut out the Nationals 8-0. Miami's playing a lot better all of a sudden. The Marlins now won 4 straight. And a line drive. Fair ball. That kissed the chalk down the left field line. And Johnny Gomes is on his way to second base. He'll stand there with a 1-out double. His second double as a Brave. And that's the first Atlanta hit, which ironically enough came with 1 out in the 5th inning last night. It was a double.
Hanging breaking ball. Johnny stayed back on it and kept it fair and out of the reach of Ashe, and then it kicked up some chalk. So let's see if that'll lead to a little breakout here.
Nice round number for Gomes, his 150th big league double. And now Kelly Johnson bats. He popped out his first and only time up. And a strike. As this game moves toward the later innings, don't know if Jonathan Papelbon's available for the Phillies. He wasn't at the ballpark last night. Ken Giles finished things off for Aaron Harang. Papelbon was out with migraines. We're told he is at the ballpark, but whether he can pitch or not remains to be seen.
Yeah, they were going to do an evaluation, and I'm not sure how that turned out.
And fouled away. It's 1-2. Ground ball to the right side. That'll get Gomes to third, but Utley throws out Kelly. 2 outs. And Chase Peterson's the batter. 0 for his last 11.
Whatever mechanical issues Buchanan and Bob McClure, their pitching coach, worked on their side sessions between starts, seems to be paying some dividends.
Ball inside for the Braves second baseman. 1 ball, no strikes.
It's an excellent changeup tonight. Right to the back point of the plate. Hitter's been swinging over the top of it.
Now Peterson, a 1-2 count. Buchanan very economical, as you see. He's allowed 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, only 1 walk. The pitch to Jace is smothered by Ruiz. 2-2. Line drive right field, but right at Francoeur. Hard hit ball by Peterson, but Frenchie ran it down. The Braves got a hit, nothing else. Home fifth, 2-0 Phillies.
Would be complete without a little cheesesteak. Now, this doesn't just go for the fans and occasional reporters who like to eat cheesesteaks. Yes, the visiting clubhouse has a competition, and the Braves are the 4-time champions of visiting teams coming in here to Philadelphia and eating the cheesesteaks. In fact, the word that was used was that the Braves destroy the competition as it goes with cheesesteaks. Well done, fellas.
Jen, if memory serves, you destroyed a cheesesteak here last year, right?
I don't know what you're talking about, Jim.
Yeah.
I have no memory of that, and I definitely didn't throw wrappers afterwards.
No, we didn't. No dirty looks from any of the fans out in center field. Boy, are they good.
The one curious thing about those standings to me is all of those teams, with the exception of one, are in the National League East, who come in here about 9 times during the course of the season. Pittsburgh was only 139 behind Atlanta, and they only come in for 3 games. Yikes.
Pittsburgh's the Iron City, right? Cast iron stomachs made for Clint Hurdle's battling Buccos. Fly ball off the bat of Freddie Galvis to center field. That should be easy, and is. There is out number 1 in the Phillies' 5th. Buchanan, the pitcher, grounded out his first and only time up. Shelby's pitching great. Just that madman at first base, Ryan Howard, got him again. A 2-run homer last inning. And 1 out for the Phillies pitcher. And he shoots one into right field. Markakis running, diving catch, held on.
Second good play of the night by Nick Markakis. If you weren't with us, a great catch running into the padding in foul territory down the right field line, and now scooping this one up off the grass, taking a hit away from Buchanan. And cradling it there to make sure it didn't pop out.
Two outs for Ben Revere. And he takes the ball low. Brzezinski spotted something in that last pitch as Miller falls behind 3-0. And on 4 straight, the Phillies leadoff man earns a walk. Second base on balls for Miller in the game.
Shelby asked Mark Carlson if that pitch was up. Mark said yes.
And again, AJ might have seen something that he can correct for Shelby Miller. Here's Herrera, an infield hit, and he was called out on strikes to end the 3rd. Back to first. Mets are back in the win column. They beat the Yankees today. Matt Harvey went 5 innings in the Bronx, so that series tied at a game apiece. Yankees beat Jacob deGrom yesterday. Harvey evened it up today.
Yeah, I wonder if they took him out after 5 because he had a big lead and because his ankle's been bothering him.
Could be. He was complaining about a sore ankle when the Braves were in New York. He injured that ankle shagging fly balls this spring. So it was an 8-2 final in the Bronx. Game 2 of the Subway Series. Runner goes. Pitch high, and Brzezinski double clutched. Don't know if he had a chance to get Revere at second or if someone was late covering the bag. Have to take a look at the replay.
No, I think the ball came out of his hand, Chip. couldn't quite corral it. But wisely stuck it in his pocket rather than risk throwing it away.
Good catch, Joe. 5 steals for Revere. He's in scoring position for Herrera. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball to Beauty. Even count. Can't give him any more. Got to take care of Herrera. Don't want Chase Utley up there with runners in scoring position. Despite his struggles, Utley's another Braves killer at the plate. Ball 2.
That's what the Braves tried to do to Herrera his last couple of at-bats last night. Was crowd him. A couple of groundouts. His last 2 times up to the right side when he got jammed.
Three balls and a strike.
You see how patient Herrera is here. That man in scoring position. If somehow Shelby throws him something a little bit off the plate and gets him to chase it, if he's willing to go after it. That was a pretty good pitch. We won't know.
So here's the pitch of decision for Odubel Herrera. Full count.
I would really expect AJ, knowing what he remembers from last night, to think that, well, we had some success inside last night. Let's go in there again.
Breaking ball bounced out to second, and Jace has it, and Miller works around the 2-out walk. Young, Miller, and Markakis coming up. Let's get some runs. Witt. This Braves offense down 2-zip after 5. Field and see the Braves take on the Reds Thursday, April 30th through Sunday, May 3rd. Take part in some great family activities. Friday nights are George Lottery fireworks nights, and every Sunday's Alumni Sunday with autograph sessions, kids run the bases, and more. Visit Braves.com/tickets and plan your family outing to the ballpark. Little roller on the first pitch, right to the first base bag, and Ryan Howard takes care of Eric Young Jr., and that's how the Braves' 6th starts.
A lot of first pitch outs for Buchanan. It's really helped his cause tonight. first pitch of the ball game was hit like a bullet, though, by Markakis, and Ferreira ran it down, saved an extra base hit.
And a strike for Shelby Miller. Braves and Phillies wrap up this series here tomorrow afternoon. Trevor Cahill and Jerome Williams meet at 1:35. Braves Live will be on the air at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Then we're home on Monday night. Our first look at the Washington Nationals, a 3-game series at Turner Field. Starts a nice long homestand for the Braves. The Nationals, then the Reds for 3 over the first weekend in May, and then the Phillies for 3. Then we go on another long road trip. Miller checked his swing. It's 2-2. Just short. Galvis gives ground, bobbled for a moment, and just got Miller by a step. Good hustle by Shelby, but he's still the second out.
Made it a close play, though, by hustling.
And we go back to the top of the order, and Nick Markakis. Speaking of the Nationals, they're about to get Anthony Rendon back. Played 5 innings at third base for the Nationals minor leagues yesterday. He's hoping to go 7 today. Once he goes 9 innings, then they'll evaluate him, and they're hoping to get him back from that strained knee tendon. Max Scherzer jammed his thumb swinging the bat in his last start. It's his right thumb, and they're going to limit his batting activities during his off time. He's scheduled to pitch game 2 in Atlanta against Julio Teheran.
Yeah, Stoltz and Pfister on Monday, Teheran and Scherzer Tuesday, Wood and Jordan Zimmerman Wednesday night.
2-0 count for Nick, and in at the knees, a strike. Two and two. How in the world did he hit that ball? That was almost on top of his left shoe.
Kind of like the one that he pulled foul last night that almost hit him.
Full count. Braves have had 2 base runners. Markakis walk and Johnny Gomes double. That's it. And a sharply hit ball. Nice stop by Galvis from the seat of his pants. Howard with the scoop. What a play. A great play by Galvis, but he hurt himself.
And he may have hurt himself on the throw. One of the best plays of the year, and then on the follow through, I don't know if he jammed his hand.
An incredible play by Freddie Galvis robbed Nick Markakis, and this game goes to the home 6th. 2015, Joe, you wouldn't know it from the early innings tonight.
No, this is great play by Freddie Galvis, as good as you want to see. Got to his knee, then made the throw, but he hit real hard right there. And when he was lying on the ground, it looked like he was holding his throwing arm. But the way he landed, maybe jammed his shoulder on his glove side.
That was a great play.
It was a tremendous play.
Our Toyota key play of the game tonight. So the tough luck for the Braves offense continues for Nick Markakis, robbed twice tonight. And Miller back to work with Utley, Francoeur, and Ryan Howard. Howard a 2-run homer in the 4th inning, the only offense tonight. Slow roller toward Peterson at second. From 1 second sacker to another, there's the first out. Francoeur doubled the opposite way down the first base line and scored ahead of the Howard homer.
It's indicating there that it was his left shoulder. Once he spun around to make the throw, that he landed on his left shoulder and felt some pain, I guess.
We'll see if he can continue. Then Miller retires the Phillies here in the 6th. Popped up over by the Phillies on deck circle. A.J. Pierzynski runs out of room. One ball, one strike.
That's where the Braves had some luck last night on Jeff, was breaking balls down and away. Even the ball that probably should have been an infield hit that was ruled an error, he kind of rolled over the top of it to third base.
And strike 3, a fastball throws Francoeur over the outside corner. Third strikeout for Shelby tonight. Jeff 1 for 3 in the game. Perfect pitch.
Yeah, and got caught looking perhaps for a slider away, since they'd thrown it to him quite a bit. He'd like to have that one back. Good call by Shelby and AJ.
Ryan Howard has 4 career hits against Shelby Miller, 3 of them home runs. And the one he hit earlier tonight was a no-doubter, as you see on our Yellowwood, bringing the lumber.
Well, it was out away from him, down and out away from him, right in his wheelhouse where he can get his arms extended and drop the barrel of the bat on it. And it got out of here in a hurry. That is the spot you got to go. You got to time in up and in. You can't get the barrel to that one.
Line and caught it first by Freddie Freeman, hugging the line. Shelby Miller gets the Phillies in order in the 6th. 2, 3, and 4 up for the Braves as we go to the 7th already. Simmons, Freeman, and A.J. Pierzynski.
presented by AT&T Uverse, Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
It's the 7th inning. Andrelton Simmons leads things off. He's 0 for 2. And he jumps on the first pitch and tries to split a gap in left center field, and he'll do more than that. A solo home run. His first of the year, and the Braves are on the board. That snaps the long scoreless drought for the Atlanta Bats.
20 innings. And the first pitch swing this time paid off. And really a no-doubter.
So there's a start.
Maybe it'll open the floodgates.
There you go. Freeman and AJ to follow. Freddie's 0 for 2 tonight. One hit in his last 16 at bats. Any high strike, it's 0-1.
Freddie hit his first home run in this ballpark. Doc Holliday.
That was a moonshot too, man. Into the Phillies bullpen.
Went over that little corner of seats. Right
high fly ball right at that spot, but Herrera's going to catch it on the warning track. He gave it a ride, but he's the first out. Brzezinski's 0 for 2. He's lined out to center and he's flied out to left. That's been an excellent pitch from the opening bell tonight.
Sure has, and he's mixed it up real well. Jake Diekman gets ready after the home run and the deep fly. Started AJ with the changeup.
This is somewhat uncharted territory for David Buchanan. Tonight he makes his 24th big league start. He's only gone 7 innings or more twice in those 24 games. But if there's a strength at the Philly ball club, it is their bullpen. They've pitched very, very well this year. A .285 team relief earned run average. One ball, 2 strikes to the Braves catcher AJ Brzezinski, and that's up and away, 2-2. To center and right at Herrera this time. He's in a few steps. Five putouts for the Phillies center fielder. If you can give up fly balls, that's space you want to give them up in this place.
Yeah, there's another changeup.
The Braves have 2 hits. Johnny Gomes picked up the first in the 5th inning tonight. It was a 1-out double. His 3rd hit of the road trip. And a strike. That home run given up by Buchanan's the first in a long, long time. His first home run in 154 batters. It was a no-doubter off the bat of Andrelton Simmons on the first pitch of the 7th. One away, 2 balls and a strike. On a corner.
Yeah, just about a perfect pitch. His best fastball on the outside corner. Got the call.
Now he's run it full.
That slider was supposed to be outside, and it was just a spinner, but bad enough that wasn't in the hitting zone for Gomes. Change up again.
Johnny fought it off.
It's his best pitch tonight, and even 3-2 here. Ruiz calls for it because he's put it in good spots.
Gomes checked his swing, ball 4 high. So the tying run is on for Atlanta. Kelly Johnson is the hitter. Diekman's a left-handed pitcher loosening in the pen. You've got Kelly, then you've got Jace Peterson. And Ruiz out for a chat with David Buchanan here. It looks like Ryan Sandberg for the moment is going to stick with him. His second base on balls tonight. Kelly's popped out and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. One ball, no strikes.
I don't know if they'd run the risk of sending Gomes, trying to get him into scoring position or not, but the reports on Ruiz is that he's not throwing as well as he used to. But Kelly's got himself in a good position. In this instance, if Kelly's been paying attention to all the changeups, when you get ahead in the count, not a bad time to look for that changeup.
Buchanan's missed with 3 in a row. Green light, fouled away.
Again, a good spot to look for it.
He took ball 4. Back-to-back 2-out walks.
By our PNC Bank pitch tracks there, looked like a good pitch, but it was nowhere near the location. So the umpire's not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and that's going to end his night.
What a night, though, for David Buchanan. A run on 2 hits. 3 walks, and I've got him for 3 strikeouts. He gets a nice hand for the crowd here in Philly. The Phillies pen is in play. 2-1 game.
Cup 2, the Home Depot, and the Georgia Lottery.
That Bird's is as intense as its owner, Johnny Gomes, who stands at second base with a 2-out walk here in the 7th inning. Jake Diekman is on to relieve David Buchanan, and he will pitch to Chris Johnson, who's pinch hitting for Jace Peterson.
Diekman's been getting knocked around too. He also will walk you if you give him a chance. 6 walks in his 6 innings of work so far on the year. He throws hard, 95 plus with a slider.
And a strike had Chris backing out of the way. Chris, as you know, very effective against left-handed pitchers. This is his 3rd pinch hit assignment of the year. He's 0 for 2. From 96 to 85 and quickly 2 strikes.
Good numbers there. Right-handers hitting him at a 271 clip. Lefties sub 200. You can see how left-handers would really struggle with that arm angle and crossfire.
One and 2. Right back where it came from, center field, a base hit. Here comes Gomes around third. Herrera loads up. His throw is going to be cut off, and Chris Johnson with a pinch hit single ties it up, and the Braves cash in their first of 2 2-out walks here in the 7th inning.
I mean, right back at the pitching rubber. He was ahead in the count. Came back with a fastball, almost got him in the right foot. And again, Herrera is a second baseman converted to the outfield. And with 2 outs, Johnny Gomes giving it everything he had to get in there and did.
So we're back even at 2 apiece, and Eric Young the batter. So David Buchanan can't win it. EY 0 for 2 in the game. There's a shot down the left field line. That's going to get down and rattle up against the fence. Kelly Johnson scores. Here comes Chris Johnson around third. He'll be stopped there. Back-to-back hits for Atlanta, and the Braves have taken a 3-2 lead.
That's Eric Young's first hit right-handed this year. He had been 0 for 6. Got a fastball. Well, it might have been a breaking ball that had the center of the plate. And one hands it into the left field corner.
So Shelby Miller will be taken down after 6 innings tonight. He gave up 2 runs. 3 hits, struck out 3, gave up the Howard homer. So it's battle of the bullpens the rest of the way. Let's see if Gosselin can add to the lead. All this happening with 2 outs. Joe made the call after Simmons hit the homer. He was hoping the floodgates would open. That's happened. 2 flyouts to center, then 2 walks, a single and a double, and the Braves now lead 3-2. Johnson at third, Young at second.
You can be wild and walk people, but you can also be wild in the strike zone, which is kind of what Diekman's doing here. He is splitting the plate with some pitches that's not where he's trying to make the pitches to. Chris made him pay, so did Eric. That was a good pitch.
Look back at the inning. Ryan Sandberg might have been a batter late getting Diekman in the game. He had Kelly Johnson, a left-hand batter, facing Buchanan, and then he walked him. He had the lefty-lefty matchup. He knew Chris Johnson was lurking, but there would have only been one man on base at the time. But Atlanta happy the way things have worked out to this point, as Cody Martin will be out of the chute next. He'll start the Phillies 7th. Boy, another hit here would be sweet. Pitch is instead a called third strike. Diekman gave up a single, a double, and the lead. The Braves cash in 3 runs, 2 of them with 2 outs, and take a 3-2 lead to the stretch. The game Sunday, May 24th. It's a free concert for all in attendance. Limited VIP field passes are available for the show, and they're just $20 each. Act fast by visiting Braves.com/concerts today. The Braves' 20-inning scoreless streak ends in the top of the 7th. Chris Johnson with big RBI hit. Tied it up. He's in at third base. Kelly Johnson moves to second. Cody Martin is on to pitch with the bottom part of the Phillies order coming up. Braves lead game 2 of the series. 3-2 is your score.
Cody worked 2/3 of an inning last night. He's 1-0 with a 1.69 ERA. His 5th game on this road trip.
Ashe, Ruiz, and Galvis are coming up. So here's the first real test. Braves have a lead. Yes, the Phillies are struggling offensively, but no lead is safe in this bandbox of a ballpark. Let's see how Martin fares tonight. He's got an even count to Ashe, 1-1.
Need that shutdown inning.
There you go. Line drive center field. Young comes charging in. He's got it. And there's the first out. Boy, Shelby Miller was economical. Over 6 innings, he threw 71 pitches tonight.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad pitch, I didn't think, to Francoeur that he fought off for a double. He just happened to get it between the line and Freddie Freeman. He just left that pitch down and out over the plate to Howard, where he could extend his arms.
Ruiz is 0 for 2. Markakis robbed him in the 2nd inning. Good running catch. And And he shoots one toward left. Gomes retreats. Still going back. It's over his head and off the wall. Ruiz is going to try for two. Here comes the throw. It's going to be in time. Kelly Johnson got the tag down after a great throw from Johnny Gomes.
That was a great play by both. Carlos Ruiz has not left the diamond. Brian Sandberg has come out to debate this with Tripp, isn't it? Yeah, Tripp Gibson. What a good play by Johnny to set himself in a good position to throw, and airmailed it. And I'm not sure, but I think he got him.
Right on the toe as it got to the bag, I think. Right there.
Yeah.
Now remember, the call on the field was out. There has to be enough evidence, clear and convincing evidence, to overturn the call of Tripp Gibson at second base.
Just a great layout there by Kelly to get the glove in the right spot. Oh, look at this angle. Yeah. I don't think you can overturn that.
And you can see the glove actually get pinned between the shoe and the base. But what a play by Gomes and Kelly Johnson to dive in with Ruiz sliding spikes first into the second base bag here in the 7th inning. Another look. Watch the glove get pinched.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. He's out. He's out.
He is out. Great play. 2 down in the 7th. The call stands. So Freddie Galvis bats. He's 0 for 2. And a strike from Cody Martin. You know what? Major League Baseball has drastically improved the review times, don't you think?
Absolutely, they have. And
up the middle, Simmons glides, grabs, and guns to first.
And the replay ability, all the mechanisms certainly make it a lot easier too. Great play by Johnny and Kelly.
6-pitch inning. Braves lead by a run. We go to the 8th.
From Shelby Miller, the only Hiccup was Ryan Howard's 2-run homer, but a leadoff homer by Andrelton Simmons got things going there in the 7th inning. Eric Young with that double that put the Braves on top. Huge pinch hit single by Chris Johnson, too.
So the top of the order coming up for the Braves in the 8th. And Jen, got to be an excited bunch down there tonight.
You know what, Chip, it is, and it has been the entire game. Certainly they were excited as the Braves were scoring runs and bringing them around the plate and coming back in. They celebrated Gomes, but I'm telling you, they have been doing that all night long, which has been really encouraging to see.
Good baseball usually leads to good vibes.
Yeah, it's funny how, I mean, the offense absolutely will get you going, but it's great how a defensive play, too, will get everybody fired up.
And this game turned on a 2-out walk to Johnny Gomes, who's been in the middle of some amazing comebacks in the early days of this season for the Braves, just by playing the game the right way, running hard, hustling. Tonight a good eye. His flying feet tied it up. Now Markakis bounces one up the middle. Utley sliding stop and a good throw to first, but it's late.
Nick's been robbed enough tonight.
Yeah.
It was Nick that Galvis made the great play on in the 6th inning. Of course, he hit one a ton in his first time up, the first pitch of the ball game that was run down in right center.
So let's see how the Braves play it here in the 8th inning. I think this will be an interesting at bat for Andrelton Simmons. We've seen in the past when he hits homers, he gets homer happy. Let's see if he can move Markakis around with that gaping hole on the right side of the infield for the Phillies. 1 ball, no strikes. (3-2) Braves, top of the 8th, nobody out. And I'm reaching. It's popped into shallow left, and Revere comes charging in. He's got it. And Simmons can't move Markakis up. There's out number 1. Time for our AT&T Uverse trivia question. Who's the leader in hits, homers, and RBIs as an opposing player at Citizens Bank Park? So which non-Philly?
Ryan McCann always had some good luck here. Comes to mind first.
We'll think about that for a little while as Freddie Freeman bats with 1 on, 1 out. Five hits for Atlanta tonight. Freddie 0 for 3. And 1 for his last 17. Back in his customary number 3 spot on the lineup card. All the other changes for the Braves. The second time he's hit 3rd this year. He's been the Braves' cleanup hitter most other times. Sharply hit. Howard thought about 2, knocked it down, and makes the play at first. If he doesn't glove that, the Braves are in business. They'd have him at the corners. Instead, it's the second out. Markakis stops at second.
He didn't come too far off the bag, knowing that Freddie might pull the ball. That kind of worked in the favor of both teams. He saved a potential double, and the Braves didn't hit into a double play.
Now A.J. Pierzynski bats. He's 0 for 3. 3 flyouts tonight. And a swing and a miss. AJ hasn't had many at bats against lefties this year. looking for his first hit. Jim Johnson gets ready for the bottom of the 8th. Line drive center field. There's that first hit. Here comes Markakis around third, and he will score without a throw.
Oh boy. A.J. Pierzynski just keeps doing it. That's 9 straight games he's hit in, every game that he's participated in. And he swung at a fastball in and missed. Then they really jammed him, and then they came back with what looked like a slider. And watch this. Right off the dirt. Just kind of magic one-handed rake into center. That was great.
And boy, those add-on runs late are awesome. 4-2 now, Atlanta. Markakis scores again. And that's going to be the end of the line for Jake Diekman. The Phillies will double switch for the pitcher spot as due up first in the bottom of the inning. 4-2 Braves in game 2. Game 2 in Philadelphia. The Braves are trying to spoil the birthday party for the Philly fanatic, and they've done that with some late offense. 3 runs in the 7th, 1 run here in the 8th inning. Excellent pitching by Shelby Miller and Cody Martin, and the Braves getting it done against the Phillies bullpen. Hopefully that'll continue against Luis Garcia, who's the 3rd Phillies pitcher of the night.
Fastball slider again, throws hard, mid-90s.
Was the Paul Owens Award winner for the Phillies organization. That's the honor given to the best pitcher in the Phillies minor league system. Made the opening day roster for the first time in his professional career. And a slider for a strike. Gomes didn't think so. Cesar Hernandez is checked in on the double switch. He'll be in the 9th hole, which comes up first in the bottom of the 8th inning. Braves 4, Phillies 2. Paints the black for a called second strike.
I'm still amused at A.J. Pierzynski's base hit off a pitch that I'm sure Jake Diekman thought was an out pitch, and instead he gives up a run and he's out of the game. And he's wondering what he's got to do.
Now Johnny Gomes serves one into right field. That'll bounce in front of Jeff Francoeur. Johnny Gomes with another good 2-out at bat. He walked in the 7th with 2 outs. He singled here in the 8th. And the Braves are back at it. 3 singles in the inning.
Good night. 2 hits, single, a double, and a walk, and a great throw from left field to prevent a double.
Tale of 2 games for Atlanta. The Braves had 2 base runners over their first 6 innings. They've had 8 base runners in the last 2. Kelly Johnson takes low and in. He's walked and scored. David Buchanan, this Phillies starter, hasn't won in his last 12 starts. He's on the short end of tonight's decision. Shelby Miller's on a great roll between the Cardinals and the Braves. He hasn't lost in a long time, and he could run his record to 3-0 tonight.
David Buchanan had a one-hit shutout working through 6 innings.
That missed inside, ball 2. Ian Thomas joins Jim Johnson.
That on our PNC Bank box tracks. Good spot down and away. Kelly didn't have to offer and didn't.
Ripped into right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Here comes AJ around third. He's going to score, and the Braves are pounding the Phillies bullpen. Third RBI for Kelly Johnson. It's 5-2 Atlanta.
We talk all the time about Kelly being a good fastball hitter. Another good example of it right here. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He turns on it.
Chris Johnson, a pinch hit RBI single last time up. And he takes tomahawk high for a strike. Buchanan gave up 3 runs in 6 2/3. Diekman 2 runs, 4 hits in an inning. Garcia has given up singles to the first 2 men he has faced in relief tonight. One ball, 2 strikes.
You can understand why they like Garcia, why he won the Paul Owens Award. Good arm, good slider, but his location on the fastball's got to improve certainly.
And a swing and a miss, and that'll retire the side. A very productive 8th inning for the Braves. 2 runs on 4 singles. 5-2 Atlanta. Home 8th coming up. 8th. Here's our T-Mobile game changer.
A.J. Brzezinski this year, he's hit in all the games that he's played in. His average now at 382, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. Big RBI here tonight for an add-on run. And I, for one, have been pleasantly surprised.
Changes for the Braves. Eric Young moves from center to left. Cameron Maben takes over in center. And Big Jim Johnson is on to pitch for the Braves. Man could use some good fortune. And he's got some runs to play with here. Hopefully he can relax and just pump strike after strike at these Phillies in the 8th. He's got Cesar Hernandez starting it off, then Revere, then Herrera.
Yeah, especially with this part of the order. Hernandez, Revere, Herrera. You don't anticipate any danger there from long balls, so with a 3-run lead, go right after him.
He's hoping to keep pace with the Mets, who beat the Yankees 8-2. I think I misspoke earlier. Matt Harvey went 8 2/3 today.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he was brilliant for New York. They beat the Yankees. We'll start play at 8-8. It's a base hit with 2 strikes for Cesar Hernandez. Jim's given up a few of those on the road trip. 2 strike hits.
Coming off the bench cold too. Cesar Hernandez gets this fastball right where it came from. So good start to their inning.
That'll bring up Revere, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. And a strike. Pitch. Able to get 2 strikes. Let's see if he can finish him off. He can't. This one a single on an 0-2 pitch.
This one a broken bat, base hit. Fastball that started in, came back, and just out of the reach of Kelly Johnson. And Hetty and Thomas up, loosening up with Johnson. Nobody's been throwing at the moment, but I think that's about to change.
Back-to-back hits for the Phillies in the 8th, and it will be Ian Thomas again. First and second, nobody out. Herrera has an infield hit. He's also struck out and grounded out. This will be a great time for a double play ball. Ball 1. Long swing, and Herrera didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's because he took a little off. Something going down and away like a changeup, and he was way out in front.
Phillies have only 1 win this year when they've trailed after 7. They have no wins when they've trailed after 8.
He's trying real hard to tie it on 1 swing.
Big boppers are lurking for the Phillies. It's the big names. Utley, Francoeur, and Howard lurk next. 2 balls and a strike. 2 2-strike hits begin the inning. Line drive right field. Markakis read it well and caught up to it for the first out. That ball was tattooed.
It was ripped. And a good read by Nick off the bat. Come charging in.
And here's Utley.
Something down and in.
Utley is 0 for 3.
Johnson took the loss last night on that error by Freddie Freeman, but he did not face Utley.
Popped up center. Maben should catch that. He does. 2 outs.
Utley looks like he's hitting all hands and arms, that there's no lower half at all working on his swing.
As mentioned last night, a couple of years of real bad knee problems for Chase Utley. Maybe the legs aren't under him yet. 0 for 4 night for him. Now Jeff Francoeur's the batter. Jeff's had a productive night. He's doubled and scored in 3 trips. And he's had luck against Jim Johnson. He's 2 for 4 against him in his career. Steve Reich inside corner.
Like Howard, Jeff likes the ball out over the plate where he can extend his arms. He likes the ball down.
One pitch. Ground ball toward third, and the flip to second is in time, and Jim Johnson's back on the beam. Gave up a couple of hits, but he preserves a 3-run Atlanta lead as we take this one to the 9th inning.
or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
We head to the ninth inning. Braves fans are happy in game 2. 5-2 is your score. They spoiled an outstanding performance from David Buchanan. They got an outstanding performance themselves from Shelby Miller. And hopefully we'll have an outstanding performance by answering our AT&T Universe trivia question correctly. Who's the all-time leader in hits, homers, and RBIs by an opposing player of the Phillies here at Citizens Bank Park?
I'm going to go Brian McCann.
Brian McCann. I'm going to say David Wright.
Way to go, buddy.
David Wright, 19 homers and 66 RBIs for the New York Mets. This is Hector Neris, 25-year-old kid out of the Dominican Republic. The Phillies signed him as an amateur player in 2010. Pretty impressive minor league numbers.
Only his second outing, as you saw. Low 90s fastball, slider, and a lot of changeups. Supposed to have a very good changeup.
High to Eric Young, who leads off the inning. Cameron Maben will follow, then Nick Markakis. Eric with an RBI double tonight. A lot of key plays in this game. From an offensive standpoint, 2 of them for the Braves. The Simmons leadoff homer in the 7th. And then the Gomes 2-out walk in that same inning. That kept it alive. Atlanta scored 3 times to take the lead. And a leadoff walk starts the 9th inning. Follow the Braves all year long with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or your tablet.
Cameron's first at bat since coming in defensively. He could use a hit.
Slider strike.
0 for 2 with a walk last night.
Runner goes. Swinging a fly ball, shallow right. Francoeur is under it. He's got it. He's going to throw back to first. And Howard with the stretch makes the play. He dropped the ball. And Terry Pendleton is going to argue that call. Howard had the out, but then dropped the baseball. Mike DeMuro, the first base umpire, didn't see the drop, but maybe the other umpires did.
I don't think they're going to need a replay for this. Yeah, they all saw it dropped. Philly dugout saw it too. The infielders did a good job on Eric Young, though. They really deked him into not knowing where the baseball was, and by the time he recovered, a good throw or just a good pick by Ryan Howard. He had to stretch out there quite a ways. They'd have had him.
And you could see the angle for the umpire. He was in no position to see the stretch of Howard, who was directly away from the umpire's line of sight. So they gathered and got the call right. 1 on, 1 out from Markakis. An infield hit for Nick turned into the 4th Atlanta run. He's been robbed twice by the Phillies defense. Herrera took away a double in the first inning, and Galvis with a tumbling stab up the middle robbed him of his 6th inning safety. 412 will work for the last 10 games for Nick. 1 RBI though in that stretch. That illustrates the troubles the Braves have had with their 1 and 2 spots on the lineup card. Big story tonight. Freddie Gonzalez shuffled his lineup dramatically. Markakis moves from the 3-hole to the first spot. Simmons hitting second. Freeman third. Przinsky fourth. The Braves have scored 5 runs on 8 hits.
And it came late, but it did come right along, and it's fun to watch when they're getting guys on base. And clutch hitting from Chris Johnson and Eric Young.
He runs with the pitch. Ruiz's throw is on target, but late. Young stole that on the pitcher. And he's got his 3rd swipe of the season.
Eric's had a good night.
So an RBI chance for Markakis. The Braves are 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position this evening. And a fly ball toward right. That's going to drop for a hit. Francoeur's up. Young around third. Here comes Jeff's throw. And it was right on target. Snap throw back to first and out. Francoeur saved a run with a great throw, and then Markakis wandered too far out first, and the Phillies nabbed him for the 2nd out.
I think Nick got caught thinking he needed to round the bag big and make him cut the ball, but the throw was so high, and then Utley dropped the knee on him. That's always dangerous if you're diving back hands first, to have one of those infielders do that to you. Francoeur's throw sailed over everybody. There was no one to cut it off anyway.
So here's Andrelton. 2 outs, runner at third, and a strike. Give Markakis a single. His 2nd hit of the night. 9-2-4 to put out at first for the 2nd out. First homer of the year for Andrelton. Got the scoring parade started for the Braves in the 7th. And this one driven high in the air to center field, and Herrera's going to backtrack and make the grab. That will send our game to the bottom of the 9th inning. Jason Grilli will try to save it for Shelby Miller. It's 5-2 Atlanta after 8.5. Thursday through Sunday, April 30th through May 3rd. That's 4-game series. As always, Friday nights are Georgia Lottery fireworks nights, and every Sunday is Alumni Sunday. Joey Votto is back, swinging the bat well for the Reds. They've got a Aroldis Chapman. He's always a treat unless you're a major league hitter. And it's our first and only look at the Reds in Atlanta. Hope you'll join us at Turner Field.
Yeah, and that pitcher they got from the Miami Marlins,
Anthony DeSclafani,
is leading the league in ERA. So that was a nice pickup by the Reds in the Matt Latos deal. Nice pickup for the Braves here when they signed Jason Grilli. After the trade of Craig Kimbrell, Jason Grilli has stepped in. He's 6 for 6 in save opportunities. He's been outstanding, but it's been a while since he's had an opportunity.
April 19th in Toronto when he struck out 2 in his perfect inning of relief. And he's got Ryan Howard to start the ninth. Howard's accounted for both Phillies runs, a home run off Shelby Miller in the 4th inning that gave the Phillies a 2-0 lead. It's 5-2 Atlanta. The pitch to Ryan is low and away. Miller, Martin, and Johnson very effective in relief. And in the case of Shelby, the starting assignment. Let's see what Grilli has in store for us. Out of play foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
How much is too much work? How much is not enough? With this much time between opportunities for Grilli, might take him a pitch or two to get his bearings.
Shift on for Howard, who didn't get the fastball. 1-2. Breaking ball. Oh, and he fought it off.
Just got a piece of it.
Blew him away with a fastball. That one at 95 and let her high. Good start for Jason in the 9th inning. 1 up, 1 down.
Run upstairs. No chance.
Cody Ascio for 3. Braves have pitched him as tough as any team in the big leagues. Lifetime, the Phillies' third baseman has 12 hits and 93 career at bats. He entered play today at .327 for the year, and this one served softly into left. Can of corn for Eric Young. He's got that. The Braves are an out away from evening the series.
Yeah, and snapping a 4-game skid.
There you go.
Needed to do that.
Plenty to talk about on Braves Live. That follows Game 2 from Philadelphia. Freddie Gonzalez pushed the right lineup buttons tonight. Shelby Miller an out away from going 3-0 in his first season as a Brave. Ruiz 1 for 3. That hit came in the 7th. He tried to stretch it to a double. One of the great defensive plays in this game. Gomes to Kelly Johnson, and the tag, a shoelace ahead of the slide. Ruiz was out. That was a big play. He represented the tying run in scoring position had he made it. 1 ball, no strikes to the Phillies catcher.
And made sure that really threw him a strike, unlike Ashe, who went up there hacking away down by 3 and just hit a weak fly ball out.
AJ framed that one nicely. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
AJ does a really nice job. He's been doing it for a few weeks. But he does a great job of framing those pitches and sometimes stealing a strike for his pitchers.
I think he might have right there. It's really a strike away now. 1-2 your count. Bases empty for Ruiz in the ninth. And he fought it off. Big night for Johnny Gomes. Really trying to go 7 for 7 in saves. Got away with one there. It was up. And Ruiz fouled it away.
And he's mad at himself. Pretty good breaking ball that he laid off. If you weren't with us last night, Ruiz always a good fastball hitter.
Line drive to short, and the Braves have beaten the Phillies. Johnny Gomes, a very big night. 2 hits, a run scored, a great assist in left. Shelby Miller now 3-0. David Buchanan 0-4. His winless streak stretches to 13 starts for the Phillies. Braves are back over 500. They even the series, and they go for a series win here tomorrow afternoon. Joe and I will recap it for you from Philly after this quick timeout.